G'day everybody, this is Bell from Dog Shadow Gaming on the channel that lives to game and games to live. And just before we get into our, third episode of Vermintide, a beginner's guide, just wanted to say sorry for not uploading for about a week. We were in the middle of our move where I was joining my wife in Vietnam. So we're coming over here to live for a little while. And so that was, that's why basically I had to actually get on a plot. Get over here, and then I spent 2 days setting up a new rig and bits and pieces to be able to record and play on, and that's pretty much where we're at right now. So yeah, and today I wanted to bring, I should say, our last Vermintide clip, the beginner's guide for Slayer, got quite a lot of views. So I thought I would do another one and continue on this line with Warhammer Vermintide. In the meantime, we have had Bergenhofen come out, which is a new DLC with 2 new levels, a heap of new customizational bits and pieces. Some there's dailies and weeklies. I think there's a weekly now. So there's some new bits and pieces. There's some new weapon skins and new skins and bits and pieces. So I will do a video on both of those. I'll play through of both levels. And just a bit of a chat about them, but I haven't actually done a lot of them myself. I've only had one quick squeeze at them myself, so I will continue with these beginner guides, and then I will also throw one of those out there. I realise not a lot of people are covering Vermintide at the moment from what I'm being told, so I'm hoping that you're enjoying what I'm putting out. Again, sorry for the delay, but as always, you can follow me on Facebook at Dog Shadow Gaming. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Dog Shadow Gaming, and obviously YouTube. Shadow Gaming. Okay, let's get into it. Today we're going to be looking at the Shade, Kerillian. So we started with, what did we start? I totally forget. I know we did the Slayer last. And then before that, I don't know who we did. We did Kruber, didn't we? No. Yes, I think it was Kruber. That's all right, I'll have to go back and look. Anyway, moving on. So yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to get into Kerillian. Now, let me talk a little bit about Kerillian in her Shade architect. Now, this is like, for those characters who want to play a Dark Elf, this is the Dark Elf. This is the Assassin class. This is the Assassin class of the game. This is your glass cannon, and I do mean very much glass cannon. She has passive abilities. We'll look at her. So, critical hit, backstab, instantly slay man-sized enemies. And as you can see on the back there, if she can get behind them, she can instantly slay man-sized enemies, although you don't notice it that much. She is speed and criticals incarnate. That's what she's about. But you gotta dodge, mate. You need to know how to dodge. She's like the Slayer. I don't think she's as hard as the Slayer, but she'd be right up close to him in being hard to play, as in you can take damage really quickly, and if you get cornered, you're in trouble. Now, her ability, Kerillian becomes undetectable and can pass through enemies, lasts for 10 seconds or until she attacks. You go completely invisible and you can scoot through. This is a great ability, and when Vermintide 2 first came out, the cooldown on this ability was way too high and no one played her. Like, no one played her. She just didn't bring anything to the table. She just really didn't have anything. She was too squishy, and she really had nothing. No role. And if you remember the last episode that we talked about the Slayer and what roles he fills and what he can and can't do for a team. And remember, this is a team-based game. Very much so. It's not a lone wolf game. Although you can do speed runs on your own. If you're with other people, and even if you're pugging, you really are going to benefit far more by knowing your role and knowing what you're going to do for your group and how you're going to help them. And this, if you choose to use this class, you are a boss killer. You depending on the weapons that you roll with, dual swords can be quite effective at killing horde and that sort of thing. The meta, and this is beginners guys, I'm not going to go flat into the meta, but the weapons of choice at the moment for this character are the daggers. However, the dual daggers. This is, by the way, this is another dual mostly. I mean, she has the glaive and she can shoot bows and all the rest of it. But most of the time, she's she's dual swords, dual knives. I mean, you can use glaive, you can use the polearm, the spear on her, and it's quite effective and good. But at the moment, daggers are the thing if you really want to maximize your crit and your damage and carve through that armor. It's probably going to be daggers. Now, as you're watching them play daggers on the screen on the right there, you can see they're giving a bit of a duel. It is very much like that. You can see how many red flashes she's getting hit with, even just like taking out that horde. Again, not so bad when you're fighting one person who's big and clumsy like this, because you can really use your dodge. And in this character, I think it's a level 2 skill or level 1 skill has a dodge. It gives you 20% extra dodge, and it makes a big difference. It's one I would never not play her with, to be fair. Now getting back to, you really, this is a mid to back liner. You're looking for opportunities. You're a special hunter, whether it be with your bow. I prefer the crossbow myself, but you'll see me use Hagbane in this just because it is the meta at the moment, and I'm trying to get used to it. I'm not amazing at it, to be honest with you. I've only just started using the daggers. I normally run, and really, I would say to you, right up to champion. I mean, I'm talking legend runs now, and I'm trying to work with daggers on champion runs. But right up to champion, honestly, I preferred using dual swords. There's more, they're just as fast as the daggers, or almost. They have almost as much crit abilities in them. They're very quick, and you can not only kill bosses, but you can actually clear hordes really, really easily. They're very, very versatile, both at clearing the hordes and taking out the bosses. But, as I said, I'm just going to show you the daggers just because it is the meta. And I'm terrible at them, so pre-warning, I'm not great at the daggers. If I put on the swords, you'll see me fly. But, yeah. Anyway, so what you're going to see here is I'm going to be letting the bots, as much as I can, be the tanks in the game. And because it's not my role, I need to get around behind that person. I'm going to get an extra 75% power if I get behind that person. I'm going to be more likely to crit, and she's, think if you've ever played WoW, think rogue character, that sneaky rogue that always stabbed you in the back. This is what she is. She's got some fantastic bits and pieces to her. If you level her right to the end, you do get a skill towards the end which reduces your cooldown on your special. You can also get cooldown reduction off your weapons, so any crits give you a 2% cooldown reduction. So there's a couple of ways where you'll see that my special comes up pretty quickly, especially as I'm fighting and engaging, it'll come up. And you really do need that with her, because it's your escape, it's your attack, it's everything. And timing your special correctly, now you're going to get it a fair bit, but timing it correctly can really save your teammates. You can use it to patch yourself up, you can use it to pick up a fallen team member. I mean, it's just so versatile. But again, remember, glass cannon. So without any more to do than that, let's get into it and see what we can do. So we'll jump in here. So as you can see, she's got the dual daggers on.
Don't stay up.
And they don't have a lot of range. That's the other thing. You really got to get up in someone's face. Where the swords give you a lot more range to play. So as I said, I'm just getting kind of used to them now. And then for the other one that we've got here is the Hagbane. Now, normally I would run with, I find that with only 16 shots, it takes generally 2 to 3, even on champion, to take out. If you're getting headshots, it's probably one less. Myself, personally, I'm a bit of a fan of the volley. I really like the volley in this. It's I find it really, really, really good at taking out chaos, takes out specials really well, whereas the other one's a bit better for crowd control. So if I was running dual swords and I wouldn't have to worry as much about crowd control, then I would take this, because I think it's better at taking out specials and things like that from range. It's like a semi-automatic. Really, you just go and it's lightning quick and great accuracy. Fantastic weapon. However, not so fantastic for dealing with hordes. And when we're rolling with the daggers instead of the swords, again, you're sort of jumping in and out. You don't have a lot of crowd horde control. Well, you do, but you don't have a lot of horde clear. Again, you're really there to take out big targets. You are the assassin. Okay, so we'll leave it on the Hagbane because it does do more to take out groups of enemies and is quite effective on a lot of bosses too. So what I'm running here is, and this is by no means the best, this is just what I'm using. I'm playing around with it constantly. This is what I like to do. This is a glass cannon build, and it's really just to take out bosses. So I do crit, chance, crit power, crit, chance, crit power, health. This particular, the elf really needs health. So this is one to really get damage reduction versus chaos. That's just so you take a little bit less damage from those bigger baddies. And then that health boost, if I could get it to 20, I would. But that's the way it rolled. So there you go. I increase my healing just from Shalias. That's just how I roll. Everybody's a bit different. Here we go. We've got crit power. Now, the attack speed I don't necessarily need, especially with daggers. I have this on here because sometimes I like to play glaive and a bit of attack speed with the glaive, which is kind of, I mean, it's a big double-handed weapon. It's not as slow as the hammer by no means, but it is still slow for her. And then on this one, I'm running cooldown reduction. So remember what we talked about, you know, your special is everything on this one. Grenade explosion, just for a little bit of extra damage. You throw it in at the start of most boss fights, and this just gives you a bit of extra damage. And then extra crit chance. So we're running extra 5% crit chance here. An extra 4 here. I'd love for that to be 5. And I'd love that to be 5, but those are the breaks at the moment. I'm still waiting on reds. Crap you not, I've had 3 red, all trinkets. No weapons, not whatsoever. But that's okay. That's all good. It will come in time. Okay, so that's the gear. That's what we're rolling. Let's get in and have a look at... We're going to change this up. All right, we'll I think we can... We're going to go vet. I can't remember if we did vet or champ last time. We'll go vet because we're just rolling through. This is fairly easy. Again, I just want to show gameplay. I normally play on champ and ledge myself. Just getting into legendary, to be fair. Now, we're going to want custom. Here we go. Now, last time... Okay. Alright, so last time we played Righteous Stand first. Then we played Ethel... I can't even pronounce it. And now we're going to play Against the Grain, which is the... You know, it's the next one in the select. So let's go down that path. So we're going to get Against the Grain. We'll do vet and private game. Here we go.
Blood raiding parties are cutting loose in the fields around Usingen. I don't need to tell you what that means for the poor bastards in their path. You're heading to Morgensloft, biggest farm in the area. If there are survivors, and I hope there are, you'll find them held captive there. Do what you can. Every prisoner freed is one less slave used by the enemy, and repay the dead in kind, if you follow.
Okay.
What's a few mayflies worth anyway? We're wasting time here, Lumberfoots.
So a couple of things for playing the elf. I mean, the elf really becomes interesting when you learn how to dodge. If you really want to know more about dodging... Oh, by the way, this is gold for the assassin. Because you're going to want to be able to spam that special as hardcore as you want with the boss. So headshot's really important here. You know, obviously you're looking for that headshot damage. So even with your daggers, you're going to be want to hit that headshot as much as you can. Another berserker.
You don't even know how to parry one eye.
also fun. So yeah, headshots are important. If you're hitting from the front, if you're hitting from the back, headshots are still important. There's the Hagbang, which is a AoE. I'm letting get that close. There's a bomb. Taking that. Now, a couple of tips, guys, for new players too. When you first open up the game, and this is what I was saying with the dodge, when you first open up the game, you will find that in your key bindings, that your jump and your dash are both on space. Now, as you start to learn to play the game, I would make the suggestion before you get too used. We got a boss. But before you get too used to. Okay, so I'm going to show you now. I'm going to go F. See, totally drop all aggro. I'll walk up behind him if we can. So you saw that was a critical. Now we're on vet, so this is like pretty easy, to be fair. Yeah, so what you'll find is that your automatic or your default key bindings will put your. Yeah, we gotta. Remember, I'm making this look easy because I'm fast. Okay? So what I've done is, or what you'll find is that your dodge and, as I said, your jump are both on the spacebar. Now, ideally, you don't want to get used to that. Because what you're going to find is when you want to dodge, you're going to jump. And when you want to jump, you're going to dodge. Not all the time, but it can be. So that's straight. You notice how I keep moving? I'm sort of just moving around them. So what I was saying was I've used the spacebar now as my dodge. Yeah, so that you can juke and really dodge around stuff quickly. And then I put shift to my jump. This feels pretty natural on your hand. And if you're just learning the keys anyway at the start, it improves a lot. Like I'm actually still pretty rusty because I forgot all about it and that it was doing it as the default. I had it set up that way for the Vermintide 1 and I just totally forgot about it on Vermintide 2 and I got remembered when I was watching one of JSAT's videos. JSAT, by the way, is, I would say, one of the best Vermintide players out there in the community, and he has a lot of videos. Really good guy. He tries to help everybody. He's a very, very, very experienced player and knows all the nitty gritty in the back of everything. He's also an elf player, primarily, but he plays everything. The guy is excellent. So he has a lot of videos, and I would thoroughly recommend, as you progress and you get better and better and better, definitely watch his videos because you will learn a lot from the guy. Knows pretty much everything there is to know with Vermintide. Bit of a nutter, he loves playing this. But, really, really helpful to watch his stuff. So I do recommend you going and seeing him as you progress and you get a little bit more advanced, especially if you're going to be looking to go into champion and moving up to legend stuff. Vet, up to vet, I mean, what I'm giving you will help you enough to get through it pretty easily, I would say. But yeah. Also, another one, a good one is Milk and Cookies, Total War. He does the Total War stuff, but he also plays this. Basically, he plays anything Warhammerish. Same as myself, and some others as well. But anyway, moving right along. So as I was saying, if you get used to that right from the start, it's really going to help you later on down the road. Because then separating means that you jump when you want to jump and you dodge when you want to dodge, and that becomes really, really important. Placement and juking, or juking. Probably went overkill there. We got a horde incoming. this is where
Cannot shoot.
probably the only thing I don't like about the Haven. Just too light on the old ammunition. There are abilities to get it up, and if you're playing as one of the other elf characters, you can get more. Don't play them very often. This is pretty much the only one that I play. Again, going for those headshots. Trying to stay to the rear. Using block as much as possible.
I found a healing drop.
Another one to do, which for some reason mine's reset, is you have like if you press T, it highlights it. Now this is really good for your team. You can do this with anything. You can do it with, like, this is a...
For the exile.
So you see there I used this stealth to get away. I could have just dodged out of that. It was a bit silly. But as you can see, if I use T, I'll highlight this pack, or I'll highlight this pickup, or I'll highlight... This is really good so you don't get done by specials, especially if you're with a team. You want to help them out. So highlighting specials and getting used to highlighting health and this sort of stuff, really important. Now, it's sometimes very hard to reach your finger all the way over to T. So I highly recommend changing it to either your side button, depending on what's comfortable, or just something that's a little bit closer that is quite easy for you to do on the fly really, really quick, just to make it easier. As soon as we get this cleared, I'll show you what I mean real quick. They're not gonna have
to It makes me shudder to see what you mayflies do to the trees. Ratman always compensating with machinery. Is that all? I was hoping for an explosion.
Okay, so I've got NPCs are stuck, apparently. They will move as I move. Yeah, so changing into, say, your left hand, you've got like a spare button on the mouse. That's usually what I do. I put it to my side. Depending what mouse you've got. That just means it's really easy on the fly to spot something. You know, like if you've got an assassin rad or something, you want to let your team know, kind of ping it. Very helpful. Now, early on, this is actually a good fighting spot. Get you people in here. They won't come from, or rarely will they come from down here, or they won't come from there. So they'll just come in this door, and you can pretty much just sit either side of it, really controlling the fight. Oh, you can even sit in this window here. I've seen people shoot out the window here, shoot out that window there. It's pretty good. Now I'm going to show you, also we'll come through here. This isn't really what I'm doing, but I'll show you anyway. Here is where your first Grim is. Now, there's a barrel. Oh, there's a health there. So I'll tee it.
Medical supplies.
You pick up the barrel, you wander down here, guys, and you throw it in there. It'll auto stick, so don't worry, you don't have to get it flat on or anything like that. Down. It will explode, opening up this back section. Then you come out here, up here, and you've got your arrows for refill, and here is the Grim. Boom. Now, I shouldn't, as the shade, you actually don't really want to be picking this up. You're a little bit squishy, and on top of that, you then have to give up the purple potion, which is basically the best thing for the team. As I said, you're going to be the boss killer. So with that, you can keep using your F button. You know, your special. You can special, stab them in the back, special again, stab them in the back, special again, stab them in the back. And that's what you want to use it for. I picked it up this time just to show you guys. There is a tome up here which you can jump for. I'm going to be unco at it because I'm still getting used to the shift shadow. So here you got to pick up the key. which is a little bit random. Sometimes it can be... Sometimes it can be here. That's silly.
Here they come.
Now, if you do get this, where a horde isn't coming, they're going to come down here, or they're going to come down that side over there. They're not going to come from behind you, or behind the windmill. Always from those 2 points. Just here, either side of the roof, basically. Probably should have paid a bit better idea. You'll see again, I'm not really playing front line all that much. I'll let others do a lot of that work. And I'm just circling in, headshots, move forward, move backwards, move in, move back, using your dodge. You dodge backwards if you need to, or dodge to the side. And keep dodging, shooting, and moving. Oh, there we go. Got sprung by the assassin. Now, as we come through here, we're going to get... This is a bit random. It depends. As you open, there's always going to be a boss behind here. This is the boss fight, right? The second of the Grims, just so if you want to know, is you've got to climb up on this roof. So you climb up this ladder, you go across here, you go up the roof, you jump on here, and then you jump over to there, and you circle around the back, and it is right about here somewhere.
Dusk and shadow.
There we go, it's right there. Silly call. Hit my F by accident. That's what I mean by having the T there. Is key bindings going into tag T. I'm going to change it to the mouse wheel. Special weapon I don't. Apply. Okay, return to game. Okay. Okay, so there's an assassin somewhere around. That's what that meant. We're going to pull this anyway. Probably should have waited. Right, so we've got Roger. Right. So I'm going to show you now.
Sundown.
Okay. So, I mean, that's overkill. I'm like way overgeared for vet, to be fair. I should be running champ minimum, if not legendary. So you're not normally going to one-shot them in the back. Just pre-warning.
I was warned that certainty would lead me astray.
Up here,
Now see
you'll
what
find
my
this one of the times. There we go. One there.
Indeed, but firm action slithers a brood all of its own. Only a fool would claim to move around
Yeah, that's one of the ones you can actually jump to get. I'm gonna
then ignore me. It's better for this brood.
See what I mean by you just... Now, again, if you're going to fight a horde, the best place to fight a horde is while they're actually trying to get up at you. You're completely prone. This is the best place. Whenever you hear a horde incoming, if you can find a place to make them climb up to you where you can just sit on a ledge and knacker them, this is by far the best way to deal with it. After a while of playing the game, you kind of know, you'll be like, around here we're kind of due for a horde. And you'll be able to just, sometimes I've just gone, you know what, we're well and truly due for a horde and we're about to jump down here and this is where it will normally happen. And so you kind of just wait for it to happen. Depending on where you are, obviously, how your team's doing. I feel you got a strong team you can push on. Hope to get to the next control point. But these are control points. That's a control point, yeah? We control the horde as it comes up. That sound means we've got these. Clam rat. Okay. We're just gonna up here.
For Klar Current.
Now, 2 entrances here. There's one over that side. There's one over this side. Again, they got to come up to us. So, better to let them come and kill them easily. Remember, the aim of this game is not to be a hero. That's not what it's about. It's like, you're not considered good if you're smashing through potions. And on a character like this, with very glass cannony, you can smash through potions really easily if you're not staying in your lane. You know what I mean? You're not a frontline bruiser. Don't be a frontline bruiser. You know, at times you may need to get in there and help a teammate out, or there might be no option and you've got to be that frontline bruiser. But that's only if you're forced to. Never take it on unless you have to. You know what I mean? It's not your role. Again, that depends on how you get out with your Kerillian and you know what kind of. I just got punished. Going in too far. That's perfect. So Kruber knocks him down, and then you just order from there. Okay. And this is vet, guys. So this is like second level. This isn't even that hard. Back. We're gonna move up. This is, I mean, you are going to be trading, and you'll see that my white health down the bottom on my bar. I've got this skill, or my skill is that, what's the 4th or 5th skill in my tree is that as I kill, I get 2 health. 2 white health. Now, this is called when you get temp health so quick and you're like killing tons and tons and tons, you can actually trade damage for your temp health. So basically what it means is, as you can see, my temp health is going up, and if I get hit, it'll take that temp health. It's not permanent health, it will slowly degenerate. Only these green bits and pieces will give you that. Right? I'll use the health here. Guys are all good, and we'll take that one. We've got that there. Let's move up.
Chaos warrior meat lice.
Okay. Again, backstab. Letting somebody else take a little bit of aggro, getting around the back. Headshots and with charge attacks. So here, what I do notice is a lot of people get a little bit too keen and they jump down. Why? Why would you do that? This is a fantastic, especially at the harder levels. This is a great thing. Like, clear the area properly. Wait a little bit. Hit them in the head as they come up. Guarantee yourself the crits. Now here, we've kind of cleared the area. I can shoot them, which will engage them and bring them up. Cool. Now, if you're speed running, obviously you're going to be doing it a bit differently. But early on, for beginners as you go in, learn these choke points, right? This is really important. You're not a one-man killing machine. You will get surrounded. You will get taken out. Again, if we stay around about here, right? They're engaged at the moment. Got them coming in. We're going to come up here. We're going to come up the back. Whoops. There we go, stealth.
The shadows hide me.
Use that stuff. Bruise. I shouldn't have bruised it. Let Kruber take it and then circle around the back. You might notice, you hear that sort of warp sound? That's basically the game telling you you've got a hit incoming. If you start hearing that, it's time to block. Even if you're blocking forward, if they hit you from behind, you'll still block. Depending on your stamina. Again, we're controlling them as they come up. Nice and simple. Don't have to put myself into too much damage. I can control the battle. Also, guaranteed crits. We're just going to mince them. Okay, cool. Moving down. Now, pre-warning, guys. Every single time, part of this level, as soon as you open this cage, like so, you're going to get a chaos one. So again, we're going to go boom. We have that sound, that mine. That is the sound of a sack rat. Now, sack rats drop dice, all kinds of different things. So we know he's there. As soon as we go around, whoop, that's a berserker. As soon as we get around this corner, he's probably going to take off. You kind of, if you hear that, you really want to get your bow out. You're going to want to, you're going to want to take that rat out pretty quickly. Whoop, that's a gas rat. How silly is it that my Hagbane, which is poison, poisons the poison rat with, like a mask on? It's kind of like, I don't think you would really be susceptible to that. Yeah, we may well, I don't know where he is. Maybe he's up there. Somewhere around here. I have no idea where this guy is. I think he's bugged. Okay, now we gotta release these guys. So we're gonna boom, 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 boom. Okay. Now, normally what I would say, yeah. Now, you're always gonna have this chest up here. One there. So just be aware of that. That's always there. It's not a random spawn. Around the back, moving around the back, and moving around the back. Now, a couple of things to remember when you're circling like this, when you're trying to do, is just be careful when you're trying to get around behind them that you don't end up isolating yourself. This is the danger, and this is why the Shade is a little bit more of an experienced player's character, and I'm not super experienced. Don't make out I'm always. But what I would say to you is, this is a character. If you want to master the assassin, fantastic. But you learn a lot more with characters like Kruber, I reckon, to start with. He has his own. See that? I could have got completely wiped out, but instead, I'm hunting for the big boys, which I knew was coming. That's my job. Not getting in there and getting smashed by a heap of little. Path, basically. My job is to take out those big boys, those armored big boys. That was a bit dangerous. Shouldn't have done that. So I'm in trouble here, right? No, I'm not.
I walk in endless silence.
And that's another use for it. So. Now, the bots came down to help me. So, but what if your team member was still up there and they didn't jump down? They didn't want to jump down. That can happen. And usually does if you've done something stupid like fall off and you really shouldn't. You're going to get left. As you should. There's no point wiping the team. But what, I mean, that's stability. You can get out of, it's a get out of jail free card. And now, as soon as I open this one, we're going to open this door and we're going to go to the last section. But what we're going to do first is we're going to take this door behind us. We don't have it coming in. There's going to be one in the front as we open the door. wait till this is cleared. Last one up here. Alright, deal with it. Okay. Okay, so as you open this, they are going to pile in on you. Just be ready for that. Up here, you kind of want to fight a little bit at the start. Clear yourself a path. Now, normally they'd come at you a lot faster than that, and you really wouldn't get this far. So normally they would pile onto you as soon as you open those doors. We're in vet, so that's a berserker. Don't want to face on a berserker. They will normally. It's not that you can't block them; it's that they'll hit you. They're like this, exactly the same as a Slayer. They'll hit you like 4 or 5 times in a row, which will just take your block down. And the couple of times they do hit you, will nail you hard. We're going to walk in. And so that was against the grain with the shade. So to recap, guys, just so that you're aware of it, dodging, really important. Positioning, very important. Backstab, very important. Knowing your role is very important. This particular character is not so much... I mean... You're a boss killer in this setup of her. You can set her up to be a special killer. You can set her up to be a chaff killer if you want to. But primarily, Kerillian in shade mode is a boss killer. And that's what she's there for. Total assassin through and through. I love playing her. She's great fun. Very, very punishing if you're not paying attention. This is not a, kick back, have 17 beers and then jump in. You will get punished hard. Doesn't take a lot to get hurt with her. If you're that guy who would rather have 7 or 8 beers, get a little sloshed, and then throw on some heavy metal music, go and play Kruber, go and play Barden. That's they're the ones that are going to be more forgiving and take more of a beating before you go down. This one and Slayer Barden, very, very little armor, and you take it really hard. Outside of that, extremely useful on a team. You really want to go for that purple pot. I didn't get to show you guys because I picked up the Grim. I do apologize. Basically, you pop that purple pot, and then it's just going to give you that stealth. And then as soon as you save the purple pot. If you have good team members, most of them will give you the purple pot straight up. If you're, they'll just give it to you. And anybody sitting there telling you, it should be giving it to the mage or whatever, don't listen to them. As long as you're spec'd correctly, you're going to be the biggest damage dealer as far as boss death or boss damage is concerned. We're playing with bots, so it doesn't really matter. But you're always going to be that, if you spec correctly or if you're playing correctly. So that purple pot's going to allow you to just backstab, go straight back into stealth, backstab. You're just going to drop all aggro, backstab, get the aggro, dash back twice. Your purple's going to be your special's going to be up again. You hit it again. You drop all aggro, wait for him to turn, smack him in the back, and you just keep rinse and repeat. And you can just annihilate bosses. It's not even funny how quickly you can do it. Versus not having this particular character with this particular part of the team mechanic can take a lot longer to take those big bosses down. A lot longer. However, again, you're very, very squishy, and you can't support as much throughout the levels. So you've got to, you can and you can't. It's all debatable, obviously. Look, I hope you've enjoyed this one. Let's return to the keep real quick. And I hope you've got something out of that. As always, guys, if you have liked it, then leave a like in the comment. Leave a comment in the comments. Leave a like. Smash up the subscribe and click that little bell if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, then go ahead and leave a like. Follow the page and share the page. Share the love. You can catch us on Instagram and Twitter, as I said earlier. I won't repeat again. It's just Shadow Gaming. And yeah, that's really it. So, as I said before, really, really good character. Lots and lots of fun. And it's all about the movement. It's all about being agile. It's all about the DPS and the burst damage. And yeah, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, as I said. Outside of that, I think that's it for me. Alright guys, peace out. And the next one, as I said, will be on Bergenhofen, the new DLC. See you later guys.